Hey, how's it going? I know, it's weird, right? Like, Rob, you just put up a fucking video. Why you back already? Right? Well, because this is the fallout from what happened that day on the last video, with the whole Josh breaking down and whatnot. So, anyways, I get there to where he is, and I pull in. I see him. I pull in front of him. Take the jumper cables. His van won't do nothing, So we get the cables hooked up. And we're sitting there bullshitting, and I'm letting it charge. Start the van up. Fires right up. It's good, man. Like, I don't know. That's weird. So take the cables off. It's running. And as we're standing there, this guy comes pulling in like a little SUV, like a Dodge Durango type deal. Small vehicle. And he's like, yeah, here's your receipt. Josh is like, how's he going to tow us for that? And I was like, receipt for what? And he's like, yeah, it's your copy. And I was like, I don't for what? Is I'm like taking this receipt from him? And I was like, we haven't paid anything yet. And he's like, for your pizza. I was like, pizza? I was like, Josh, you ordered pizza? He was like, no. He was like, oh, no. So I handed him the receipt back. And I was like, wait, people are meeting you here to get their food? He was like, yeah, people do it all the time. Because where he was broke down at was like at a church. Like at an intersection in the middle of nowhere, And from what the pizza guy said, it's like the border of their delivery area. Their pizza must be so good that people order it and then meet him at the border of their delivery area to get their pizza. So, I mean, I guess I could have just taken it. Like, oh, thank you. Like, have a nice day. We got free dinner, But so the guy was like, oh, no. So I was like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. So he sat there waiting. And I was like, well, let me take this thing for a quick drive. Let me see how it's running. And we'll figure it out from there. So I drive it down the street, turn around, drive back. I'm like, yeah, it's running strong, man. I don't know. I said, well, let's just go home. I said, I'll follow you. We'll go home. We'll see how it works out. So, I was like, call the tow truck guy, tell him, this is what we're going to do. So he calls him, so, yeah, we're going to chance it, try to get this thing home. If we have any issues, we'll call you back. We make it 5 minutes down the road, maybe. Start to pull onto the highway. As soon as we get onto the highway, he pulls over. And I pull up behind him, and I'm like, what's up? He's like, I lost everything. He's like, no warning this time. He's like, the ABS light came on, and then it just shut off, and I coasted to here. And I was like, no, man. Like, it's the alternator. It's definitely the alternator. I was like, well, I guess we're leaving it, So call the tow truck guy back. So he calls the tow truck guy. The tow truck guy says, oh, I got, there was a shooting here in town, and the cops, I can't leave right now. I got to tow these 3 cars. Then I'll come pick up your car, and I'll take it to where you want me to take it. Send me the address, So Josh texts him the address and my phone number. He's like, call this guy. He'll meet you there. Pay for it. And, yeah, that's that, I'm going to leave the key under the front seat. It's not like anybody can steal it. It's not going anywhere unless they're going to tow it themselves. So, we leave. Leave the van, side of the highway. I drop him off. I go home, take a shower. I'm like, man, I gotta be up because I got to be at a job at 7 a.m. So I got to leave my house by 6:30 at the very latest. But really I like leave by like 6:15. I'm like, I hope this guy's not too late. 12 o'clock comes and goes. 12:30 comes and goes. I text Josh, you heard from this guy? He's like, no. I tried to call him. It goes right to voicemail. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go to sleep. So I start uploading that video, and I go to sleep. Let the video upload on its own, Tomorrow, a lady comes and wakes me up like 3:30 in the morning. She's like, did you post a video at like 2 a.m.? I was like, what? She's like, yeah, like 2:20. I got a thing. It says you posted a video on YouTube. I was like, yeah, I guess. She's like, how? When you were sleeping? So I tell her, like, yeah, I just started it up. I went to sleep. Let it go, She was like, wow, that took a long time. Then she's like, that guy never called? I was like, I don't know. So I look at my phone. I got a missed call and a voicemail. The guy called like 5 minutes before. Like the timing of her coming to wake me up to ask me a stupid question couldn't have been better. Because I didn't even hear my phone ring. And I listened to the voicemail, and it was the tow truck guy, so I called him right back, and he's sitting up there. Now, mind you, it's 3:30 in the morning. And he's like, oh, I should have asked this first, but how you planning on paying for this? I said, company credit card. He said, oh, man, my credit card machine is dead. He said, oh, so is my battery. See? Fudge. He says, my credit card machine's dead, and the only way I can charge it is back at the shop, He's like, you can't come up with the cash? $700. It's not like $50 or $100. This is a lot of money. I'm like, no, man. He's like, you can't call the owner and see if he can get it? Like, okay, for one, even if the owner of the company lived nearby, I'm not calling him at 3:30 in the morning for this. Like, you're an hour and what are you gonna do? You towed my car an hour and a half away. We can tow it all the way back? No. I was like, the owner lives in Florida, bro. Like, there's no way. He was like, oh no. I was like, and I don't have cash like that on me. I don't carry cash like that. I was like, so, I don't know. I was like, can I pay by phone tomorrow? He's like, yeah, during business hours. I was like, well, let's do that. He's like, well, it's kind of against our policy. I was like, I'm on my way there. Because I had him take it to the place where we get them fixed. It's like 2 minutes away from my house. I said, I'll be there in a minute. I said, we'll work this out. By the time I go there, he's unhooking it and he's getting ready to drop it off the flatbed and shit. And he's like, yeah, I guess if we could just write down your card numbers and I'll run it. I was like, yeah, whatever you want to do, like. So then he drops it off. We deal with the paperwork. I get back home. Now it's like 4 in the morning. I go to sleep for 2 hours to get up. About 2 hours. Get up, get ready. I stop back by the shop where the van is. And the owner, he's sitting outside. Mind you, he just put a tie rod on this thing 2 days ago. He's like, what's going on? I was like, hey, Jim. He's like, is that the van I just put the tie rod on? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, why is it here? I was like, I just had it towed here from Ashton Buell, man. I was like, alternator went. And he kind of started shaking his head. And he's like, what'd that tow cost you? And I told him, and he was like, what? Then he calls me like an hour and a half later. I give him the keys. I fill out the work order. Take off. He's like, yeah, man, the alternator for this thing's like $350. He's like, plus, our labor charge, you're looking at like $550. I was like, fuck you, man, I need it. Like, just fix it. He was like, okay. So then yesterday we went and picked it up. I picked up Josh, took me to get the van, paid for it, and out the door he went. Went to his job, everything got done. Now we got to reschedule the job that he, didn't make it to. But it's like, fuck, man. Like, what a long night. Like, And then it turned yesterday into a long day. You know, Wednesday was a long day because Tuesday was such a long day and a long night, even though yesterday would have been like a normal day. It is what it is. You know, I guess the moral of the story is running a business fucking sucks. DNA shit. But I'm off now until Sunday, at least. Today's Thursday. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Did my job this morning. Tomorrow I'm going to drive to Michigan to go pick up my order from IV Pro. So maybe I'll make another video tomorrow because, you know, so was it like 6.5, 7 hours round trip? You know, at least 6 to 7 hours round trip. So, you know, I'll come up with some shit to talk about. You know, we'll do some bullshitting. Maybe I'll throw up another video. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not taking this because right now I'm sweating my ass off just doing this because if I put the window down, it's fucking loud. And then, you know, the air conditioner issue I'm having here. So, I'm borrowing my mom's car and that's got AC in it. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to borrow her car and go out there. Because if I take my van, my personal van, that's a big-ass conversion van, you know, because all my fucking kids gotta have a big vehicle. It'll cost me $200 to drive there and back. Gas. My mom's little car, $50, $60, I'll be alright. So anyway, you guys take care, and yeah, that's how shit goes, man. I guess that is life. You cannot predict when shit's gonna break down and how bad shit's gonna be. You just gotta roll with it. You know, it's like a good boss, a good foreman, you know, they're not made by how good shit runs. Anybody can step into a position when everything is running like a fine oiled machine and nothing's going on, right? Anybody can do that. It's how you deal with situations when shit starts getting fucked up, when things are going wrong. How you get past those, get them fixed with a cool head and keep shit moving forward. That's what makes a good boss. That's what makes a good foreman. And you're only as good as the people you have around you. So if any time in your life you become a boss or a foreman, remember that. You know, I don't, somehow, everywhere I've worked, I've moved up to like the boss form. Like I've always had people under me almost everywhere I've ever worked. When I ran the meat market, I was basically the plant manager. Like I knew everything from the packaging to the production, but that's where I started in production. You know, I was the right hand man to the owner there. When I worked at Ergomat, I ran the night shift, making ergonomic matting. I was a foreman when I was doing the Joanne Fabric stores. I had, you know, all these places I had somebody above me. I also had a lot of people below me. You know, here, somehow I weaseled my way into running this company. It just is what it is, you know. I guess some people just have that knack. So yeah, you ever find yourself, just remember those little things. You're only as good as the people around you, and when shit gets fucked up, don't get mad and freak out about it, because getting mad and upset about the situation, it doesn't change anything, and it doesn't help you. It really doesn't. Like, you need to assess the situation, think calm, clearly, fix the problem, fix what you can fix right now, do what you can to keep shit moving, and take care of the issues. That's all you can do, you know? So, I guess it's the same with everything in life. You can't get mad at the shit you can't control, because you can't control it. You know what I mean? So, you guys take care. I'll be back. Peace.